Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and honeygirlsworld.com, as well as rarebreedmaui.com, because I'm coming to you guys with a kind of, I guess you could say, a small business vlog. I talked about this in my last video. I absolutely suck when it comes to things like this. Turning on the camera is just a challenge, and yeah, but I did have some questions that I wanted to go ahead and answer. My goodness, this hair is just not the business today. I did have some questions that I wanted to answer with regards to small business, and I am prepping a wholesale order because I have to deliver that in the next couple of days. I gotta jump on a plane with all of that stuff. But part of the wholesale order was some vinyl stickers and keychains, which I already took care of. And while I was doing that, I thought to myself, hey, time to capitalize and, chit chat on the tube and kind of share some information and stuff like that while I have the rest of the stuff to do. I have these pouches that I need to get tagged up. So you're going to see a lot of stuff. I just like to kind of sit and get comfortable when I get my work done. I'm not a desk person. I don't stand up, and even when I package orders, I have a small little section where I stand up with, package the orders and mail them out. I'm just the type of person that really likes to get comfortable. So that is why I do that. But my to-do list and my planner, which, if you guys are wondering, this is the Print Press and Croco in B6, which I've been in for months now, has a full to-do list of things that I needed to do today. So this is one of them. I did receive a shipment of sample products, which I always love. So I figure I'll go ahead and share those with you guys right now. So pardon all the plastic noises because I have a lot of plastic going on here. But I did get this really cute, so this will be released on the bag soon. It is a vinyl or PU faux leather, however you want to call it, tote bag with silver hardware. That's what it looks like here. And this particular print is the tea leaf, known as La'i or key print here in Hawaii. And it features illustrations that were drawn by me. So that's this print here. It has a zipper, and then there's one slip pocket on the inside and one really big pocket with a zipper. Super lightweight in comparison to some of my others, and this is a floppy bag in comparison to the really structured ones that I do have on my site. So I wanted to kind of see what the quality was like. That's the reason why I order samples for basically everything that I get, even if I have a made to order business model for my apparel and my accessories like bags and stuff like that. I do that to help cut down on textile waste and stuff, but I always try to have them send me samples. And overall, I think this is really nice. I like the bottom. It's got that kind of pebbled leather feel. Although again, it's faux leather, it's vinyl, PU leather. Handles seem really nice. There's a nice feel to it. So I think that's really nice. I also have this bag, which I already have this bag. It's my current bag that I'm carrying, but with the Ohia Lehua print. This one has the Hapu'u fern print. So this is what I'm going to be moving into next. Again, my drawings are printed on the bag, and this is just that kind of nylon type material. I've been using my Ohia Lehua print for a while. It's got a really nice zipper, magnetic closure, flip top on the top. You got two slip pockets and one zip pocket on the inside. It's a big handle bag. I'm actually going to go and take mine and punch holes in it. But this is the other print. I thought this would be a great print to have for every day. What else do I have here? I have this kind of crossbody print with the same hapu'u fern. Really, really nice. Again, faux leather, nice zipper. This is a crossbody, so you have the hook over here that you can hook either the crossbody strap or the clutch wristlet type strap. It's a really, really nice size, really, really nice print, awesome stitching. So what I do is I normally order, because of the type of sales model that I have for these particular type of products, I always try to order samples of each type, just to make sure that the quality is good before I actually list it on my shop. And the stitching on this is really, really nice. So that's really good. I've talked about this before, but my mini backpack I have, and I just did an event last month. So I sold this bag, and I told myself that I was going to pick up another one. So here is the other mini backpack. If you've been a long time follower of me, you know I love purple. This is the Hawaiian Kalo outline print with my watercolor on the background. Just kind of use, so I utilize my photography, my watercolors, my illustrations, and a number of different things to create my products. And this is, I have several backpacks in different prints for this design. This manufacturer that does this for me is amazing. And this backpack, I'm so excited to finally get it in. I also have the matching wallet. I did wish that it wasn't white and it was black around the edging, but I'm fine with that. I just really wanted the matching wallet for the bag, so that's what we have here. But you see how it's white edged, but I love gold hardware, and I have the matching wallet for that bag. So those are those things. I'm gonna sit here and start tagging items for my wholesale order. So I figured that I would answer a few questions that I've been asked over the course of the last couple of weeks with regards to running a business. One of the questions that I got from a few people is how I do in-person events. So I did my first in-person event in April, at the end of April, so it's not been yet a year. And I didn't do any in-person events prior to COVID. So I had to go and pull things out of storage and stuff like that and get those things going. Which wasn't very difficult, but there was some things that I needed to kind of update and get together. So when I do my rare breed Maui.com is run through Shopify, which has its own inventory style system, which you could utilize if you wanted to. And then they also have their own credit card processing thing if you wanted to go that route. I don't know why I do things so difficult, but some things work easier for me than others. Same with Etsy. I also have an Etsy store, which is Honey's Favorite Things. Just some things come easier for me to learn or to do the processes with and so forth. So I run it that way. And so I use Square to run my in-person face-to-face transactions at events. I utilize Square because I've been utilizing Square for a really long time. So I run credit cards through there unless somebody wants to pay with PayPal. The reason why I do that is because I already have my Square debit card through the business debit card. I also have a PayPal business debit card, and then I also have Venmo. I don't accept Cash App. No particular reason. It's just not something that I have readily available. So I have Venmo. I take Square, which runs all my main credit cards, and then PayPal, which you can either PayPal me with paypal.me and then whatever the thing is, or they can decide that they want to utilize the PayPal thing to run their card as well. I have both options, but I use Square primarily, and what I do is I track inventory through Square. Again, it's kind of double work, seeing as I utilize Shopify as my store, but I started with Square and I started with a Square website. So for me, it was just easier to do the transition. Later on, I might decide to just do Shopify, but I have so many products on my Shopify store that for me, transitioning my products to Square that I sell at events minimizes the amount of inventory that I have. It'll still track it and so forth and be good to go. Now, the tracking aspect of Square is not free. So that is an additional cost, and it's not something that I necessarily list. So I usually will track a certain amount of items if I need to, but then not really, if that makes sense. Like, there's kind of a way for me to know how much is there, but not have like a full-blown scanner and all that kind of stuff to scan your SKUs, barcodes, all that kind of stuff. I manually input the stuff on my tablet. When I run payments, I use a Square reader. So originally I was just using the Magstrip Square swiper thingamabob. And when you get those, they're free. So you can sign up for Square and actually get those. After doing that for several years, I went with the Square Reader, which you do have to pay for. It's like $50. And then they charge you, I believe, a 2% transaction fee plus 36 cents or something like that per transaction. It's really not that bad when you think about it, considering the convenience. And I have a lot of people that pay with cash, but also a lot of people that pay with card. And it's when you look at the people that you're dealing with on a, you know, basis of shopping face-to-face transactions, I will tell you a lot of the older the older crowd. So, you know, whether it's your senior citizens or people like that, they like to pay with cash. So if you have an event, they will likely pay with cash, and they'll have like a couple $100s on them. And listen, don't you people try to go pick on the old people, okay? Like, don't be taking their money, but or stealing from them. But anyway, they bring cash. They often don't like to run cards. That's why, older folks, they're frugal, and that's when they have money, because they're not swiping. This is one of my bags. So it's something that you want to think about is cash. So when I'm doing an event, I have my Square reader, and I also have cash on me. And I do my signage and stuff like that. I'll try to input any pictures if I have any or anything like that. But I have signage that states that I accept cash, I accept Venmo, PayPal, Square, things like that. Venmo makes it super easy. I put my QR code out there. They scan the QR code, and then they're good to go. The money is pretty much automatically in the account. So that is something that is definitely worth having. If you decide you want to do Cash App, that's an option as well. For me, again, like I said, I just really haven't signed up for Cash App, which is something I'm going to do later. I don't know. I've had my Venmo for a really long time. So for me, I know what to expect. I know that, again, like I said, I have a Venmo debit. So the money goes straight into there, and I can run it automatically. I don't have to transfer it or wait a few days for it to transfer. So, that's something you want to think about as well. So that's that. I do put signage up. When it comes to how much my float is or how much my cash float is for events, I usually have a minimum of $100 on me for change for people that are going to be attending the event and paying with cash. So what I do is I just go to the bank, I get a certain amount, and here is how I do this. I usually get $100 to $150 worth of cash. I usually have 51s, approximately 10 fives, and whatever's left in tens. And that works out well for me. So whatever amount that is, I don't know, you guys add it up. But usually I try to go with at least 51s, because I find that that is the one change that I tend to get a lot of. And, you know, I also make sure that I know that if I run out, what my options are going to be. But I have yet to run out of what was in my float and run out of change. I have had people that pay with $100 bills, which can be a challenge, and it kind of freaks you out when it happens. But realistically, if they're paying with $100 bill, their fee or the cost of their transaction is usually close to that amount. So I have yet to run out of smaller bills if I need them. And so that is always a plus, you know, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Let's see. I do not in any way, shape, or form accept checks. I don't even accept checks from family members, like if they're trying to pay for my business, unless it's somebody that I know I can trust. Now, I've said this in videos before, I have trust issues, so that could definitely be the reason why, but I don't accept checks from anyone at all. There are many ways that they can pay. Checks ain't one of them. I have many options for people to pay me, so for that reason, I don't accept it. I will tell you, if you have an Amazon and you want to use Square as your credit card processing, then you can order from Amazon your Square reader. There's so many. This is the contactless chipped one, so they can tap or insert, which I really like, and I just put it right next to my tablet. And then when they're ready, if they want to tap or what have you, I just hold this little square thing, fits in a palm, hold it out or hold it like this, and then they go ahead and tap it. I did contemplate picking up the base so that it could stay in one place, but for me, it's not that big of a deal. This works out perfectly for me without any issues, you know. So one thing I always make sure to have whenever I'm doing in-person events is to make sure that I have pen, some kind of notepad, notebook. I usually take one of my spiral notebooks or one of the notebooks that I create so that I can keep track of things. I like to keep track the number of transactions that come in, as well as the things that sell. And I can hear what you're asking me right now. You're probably asking me, or probably saying, but I thought you said that you track your inventory. I do. But when it gets busy, let me tell you, even with a scanning gun, when it gets busy, sometimes pen to paper just works better. It's quicker. In some cases, it's you're able to do it without thinking. So I always print out my inventory list. That basically how I do it is I print out an inventory list of what I have. I make sure I list the pricing as well as the amount of products. If I don't have an exact inventory on me that day, that's fine. I usually do tally marks, but you know, what I have is what I have. It's really for just that specific event, what's available. So if it's not something that is easily available, then normally, excuse me, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Normally, I just make sure that I track it manually that way, just in case. And then I sync everything up at the end of the day. So I will track everything. Even if I did it digitally, I will still track it. I also like to use the notebook to write down the number of cash sales I have. So as a cash sale, I take payments for a cash sale. I'll add a tally, or I'll add the amount that the full cash sale is. And usually in parentheses, I'll put the the number of products that was purchased. So say for example, the transaction was $25. I will write down $25 and then in parentheses I'll put 4 if they bought 4 products. I'm very big on checks and balances, and for me sometimes again paper and pen worked so much easier for me. So it's just a one more added cost, but it works. Another thing that I notice when I do events is I'll sit down briefly to put some food in my mouth, but for the most part, I'm always standing. Every event that I've done has been consistently busy, where traffic is nonstop. That doesn't mean you're getting sales, everybody that comes by, but I always like them to see and know who they are dealing with, what company or business they're dealing with. But because everything that I sell features my own illustrations, for me, those are really big deals. I want people to meet me. I'm the artist. I want them to meet me. So I am usually standing up. Here's the other bag, the color leaf. I'm usually standing up, and it's important for me to let people know that, hi, nice to meet you. You know, I'm there. If you don't talk or you're not good with public speaking or anything of the sort, that's fine. But if I have to be honest, if you want to do events, face-to-face events like that, start a YouTube channel, or do social media, do reels or anything like that, and get comfortable speaking in front of the camera, because then it'll make it much easier for you to speak in person. That's just, how do I have, oh, here's the other one, the fern. That's just my opinion, but it's how I think. So for me, I think it's really, really important that you become familiar with speaking in front of people. And I've always done public speaking, so for me it's never a problem. It's not only about selling, but again, you want people to know you as a person. You know, this is the person that they're supporting and that they're buying. So like I was saying, I always have a notebook with a pen on the side to keep track of those kinds of things. I always have cash. I don't have it on me, it's in my purse, but a small crossbody bag or a fanny pack. I use a fanny pack that has my own designs on it, and that is what I use to hold my cash on me. Some people like to get lock boxes and stuff like that. I've done lock boxes before at events, and I have this mindset where it doesn't work. I mean, let's be honest here. If somebody really wanted to steal from you, they would just go grab the lockbox. When you got to go to the bathroom, you know, are you going to just leave your lockbox there? People do, but for me, I rather just have something that's on me. I mean, the chances of somebody actually trying to steal when it's on me is, I'd like to see them try, but it's going to be a lot more of a challenge for them to do it. And, you know, if I'm working a booth with somebody, so this last event, I had my sister, my mom, and the twins with me, and then, you know, I would just take my fanny pack off, and I use it. It's a fanny pack, but I use it as a sling, just because this is much more comfortable on me than that. And then I just separate my cash out the way it's supposed to, and that's what I do. It's a safer option for me than a lockbox, but ultimately you're gonna do what makes you feel comfortable. So it's totally up to you and how it is that you want to be able to do that. But that is how I do it. So I do, like I said, put that, I usually keep a pen on me in there as well as my cash, and I put paper clips in there because I separate my cash out by paper clips up to a certain amount so I can easily count back. So say for example I have 51s, then I'll do stacks of 21s. So I have one stack of 20, one stack of 20, and then I have 10 ones loose, And so the paper clips are in there for that reason. And then it's not a lot. I usually have 4 paper clips just to have in case you lose one or the other. And it works out for me. So I have that. When I'm doing events, you have to find out from whoever the event coordinator is, how you go about doing that. Am I still? Yeah, I'm still working on this design. You need to find out how you're going to go about doing the event and what you need to bring. So normally when you sign up for an event, you'll pay for your booth fee and they will tell you exactly what it includes. There are a few things that I want to make sure that you know about. Make sure that there is Wi-Fi if you don't have a network for you to run your tablet or whatever, to run credit cards from your phone or what have you. Even if you have a network, if you're in a building, sometimes there's no internet, so that's something you want to definitely check up. You want to also find out how many tables and chairs are included in your booth fee, and if it's included, and whether or not you you have a guaranteed amount of who you are, or guaranteed amount of sales. A lot of places don't do a guaranteed amount, but they can tell you approximately how many customers they had or how much traffic they had for previous events and how other vendors did and so forth. Because of this last event I've done before, I kind of had an idea as to how busy it was. Now, mind you, I did this pre-pandemic, but it was busy. My booth was busy. So definitely, you know, something you want to think into consideration. If you have to do it by yourself, that really sucks. So try to find somebody that you can stay with to do, especially if you have little items. For me, I have a lot of things that people could just grab and go, between stickers, and my bags are probably the most expensive, and that's something that always worries me, right? Is that people are going to look at it and just run and grab it. So I wanted to make sure I had someone there, because your girl's always got to go bathroom. I drink a lot of coffee. I have an itty bitty little bladder. So I always have to use the bathroom, which means I always need to have somebody with me. So that's something you want to take into consideration. Make sure you have someone to help you out, to relieve you in case you have to run to the restroom. And then if you don't have someone, then my suggestion is to take the things that are probably the most expensive and put it behind your table. I'm rambling all over the place because I'm talking as I'm working. I'm sorry about that. But again, you want to find out how many tables are included, how big your space is. So this last space I had, I believe, was 8 by 8, which I actually had much more space than that because I was kind of in a corner this last time. They had some changes and stuff like that, which is a good thing, right? I mean, I got a bigger space because originally it was supposed to be an 8 by 8. It was a good thing because I really needed the space. I had a lot of product, so it worked out really well. But you know, there's certain things you need to ask about. Where are you gonna be? You know, the setup, how many tables, because you may have to pick up tables. I pick up tables from Costco and sometimes from Walmart, but it's something that we use all the time. We use for family parties and all kinds of stuff. So I always have tables on me, and same with chairs. I just take my regular beach chairs. Walmart has them for like $9. Sometimes I take my heavy duty chairs, but I'm always looking for things that are lightweight. I have a cart that I carry with all of my items as well, and most of my products, depending on what they are all put in large bins, like the, oh, what size they are, is it 20-gallon bins? I get them from Target and stuff like that. I throw stuff inside there, depending on what type of display items I have, I throw there. I have a number of different displays, depending on what it is that I'm selling. I pick up displays from Amazon. Sometimes I go to Goodwill. Sometimes I spray Goodwill ones so that they all match together. This last time I kind of had a hodgepodge of different displays, but I had a lot of stuff. So I really had to create that height and depth. I'll I'll try to put video in here so that you guys can see, but I did have a lot of product. So I try to create really depth and height and variations and certain things. I like to put my stickers towards the end of the table where I can still see them so that nobody walks off with them, because trust me, people still, okay? I try to put stuff near the end because my stickers are extremely vibrant, and I do also have holographic ones. If the lighting is really good, that's always a good place to put it, because then the holographic ones will really shine. I was in a really dark location this last time, but again, people were still, my booth was extremely busy. So, you know, even if I was in a dark location and stuff like that, I think overall I still did fairly well considering. So I'm not complaining about that. Make sure that you have something to drink. So I always pack a flask or a water bottle, something that will stay cool depending on how many hours you're going to be there. And I always like to pack a home lunch. Now, it's really, really difficult for you to feed yourself when your booth is extremely busy. So for me, I take a bite of something and then put my thing down and then acknowledge somebody. I try to make sure that I don't have food that has onion smell or anything like that, no garlic, anything like that, super strong. But because I tend to be behind my booth, it's not too bad. I know this last time I had onion, but again, I was behind my booth. Nobody could really smell it. There was still several feet in between me and whoever I was talking to. So that's something I always think about, is what type of food. Are the smells super strong? A lot of people don't like the smell of fish. And here in Hawaii, that's a big deal, right? So I try to make sure that I don't really have fish, but you want something that is easy. You're not going to be able to really leave your booth to be able to go and get you something to eat. I was really lucky. I had, like I said, my mom, my sister, my two boys, because I didn't stop to pick up coffee. So they went and got coffee for me. And my sister went and she grabbed food and stuff like that, and she brought it by. So that was really, really helpful. Even if I did bring home lunch, they brought some different things that I could snack on. But really, truly, that's what I did throughout the entire event, was snack. And it was only 4 hours. We were able to get there at 7:30 and start setting up. It started at 10 o'clock and it finished at 2. So, you know, it was a short amount of time, but it was busy. So that's something you got to think about too, is, you know, is your traffic going to be too busy for you to get all of that stuff in? So you're not going to be able to really clean yourself up and get situated and stuff like that in between customers. So you want to make sure that you have something that's not super messy or anything like that, so that you can just at least have something to eat. A lot of my friends, they love to have and stuff. For me, I rather have a fork or a spoon, just because it's too much to have to deal with that. Here's another print. I'm going to show you guys the prints real quick. So I have that one, because my phone's screaming at me, telling me it's running out of memory. Because you guys know I film on my phone. Okay, so then I have this one. So I'm basically adding the tags to all of them. And packaging them to take off island. These wholesale items are going to be in a store in one of those shopping malls. And then this is a popular one, super, super bright. But I will constantly keep talking to you guys about this kind of stuff. I'm actually going to upload this video without edit, because it is so huge. I'm not even going to be able to render it, probably. I'm going to have to upload it straight to YouTube. So there's not going to be no intro or none of those things, but I definitely wanted to share a few things with you guys. I can do more business things like that. I've gotten questions about wholesale and how I do that. So I actually have a fair wholesale account, but nothing is on there because if I have to be honest, fair just takes out way too much money. Sometimes it's just easier for me to just go and sell the products wholesale, work out the pricing and everything like that directly, and work out the shipping directly with my customers. The reason why I say that is because the amount of pricing that they take out, it makes no sense because you're already selling it to your customers at a wholesale cost. I wanted to show you guys this. That's my watercolor in the back, like watercolor and sponge paintings behind the picaque. It's so beautiful. I love this bag. You know what I mean? So they take out so much money, which it may not seem like a lot, but if you're not making a lot of wholesale orders through Fair, I don't think that it's going to make any sense to do it. That's just me. I rather put in the extra work to be able to do it that way, communicate directly. I mean, you're communicating with these buyers anyway. You might as well communicate with them directly and just do it that way. Then that way you're not, I mean, because I mean, let's be real, we're giving them a wholesale price, which essentially is what our cost is, right, as wholesale. So you're not making any money if you are using a site that's going to take a percentage out for themselves. That's just my advice. It's up to you. Also, I use Shopify, like I said, as my main site for rarebreedmaui.com, but Shopify price has increased as of last month, April. So because of that, this is another one with my watercolor. Isn't that pretty? You know, at the price has increased, so you know it cuts into your fees, which means you just have to do more. So when people ask me how I get traffic, I try to do social media. You guys know I've talked about this and complained about this before. Social media is not something that's been easy for me to do because I've been so busy, but at the same time I need to do it because all of my traffic is organic. I do not pay for ads. Every now and then Etsy does like an automatic run ads kind of deal for me, and it's every now and then, and it's very little in comparison, so I don't really do that. My Shopify store, everything is organic. Everything is literally SEO optimized or organic traffic to be able to get them where they need to be. And so yeah, but okay, it's been a long video. I wanted to be able to kind of share some things with you guys, and I will share more. Leave your questions in the comments down below if you have any specific type of questions you want to ask me with regards to running business or multiple businesses, because you guys know I have a lot of passive income streams between my blog and YouTube channel and social media and all that kind of stuff. And I'm here to help. I am going to try to be an open book. I just really suck at pack and order with me things. But hey, at least I'm like sitting here getting work done, capitalizing, you know, multitasking. I'm doing that with you guys, but I'd love to be able to hear more. So comment down below, let me know, or send me a message if you have any questions. I'll be having more of these coming up soon, so definitely hit that subscribe button on your way out, hit that like button, thumbs up button, all the things, and notification bell if you're interested in stuff like this, because I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. You're not going to see all this pretty background stuff, all the things. Like literally you're going to get what you get when it comes to business from me, because for me, I run my business in my home. I don't have a special studio. I don't have none of those things. I literally sit down and take things one day at a time, and I want to be able to kind of share that with you guys so you have an idea, and hopefully it'll help you, because I really didn't have none of that. When you look at things, you see everything a certain way online, and it's kind of intimidating. So I'm hoping that this is going to be helpful for you. Again, if you have any questions or you want me to touch base in something in my next video, comment down below and let me know, or send me an email. My email is listed in the description box. I'm wishing you guys an awesome, most wonderful, most fabulous day. Have a great one. do fabulous things, support small business, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.